Hapo hapo sasa kuna nani hapo? Kuna ile mtaro.
Mtaro ishazibwaga siku nyingi. Naendelea sasa hivi.
Na hiyo gari.
Hello friends! You're on the Last Days channel. Thank you so much for your engagement and support. And so, a review of events for December 4th and 5th. Chennai, India. Cyclone Michaung, which hit the Bay of Bengal, brought with it squally winds and heavy rainfall, which caused flooding in the Indian city of Chennai, located in the state of Tamil Nadu. Downpours have not stopped for 2 days and completely paralyzed traffic on the roads. Dozens of streets were underwater, turning into raging rivers. The Nangalanar tunnel in Chennai is completely flooded. According to law enforcement agencies, a newly built wall collapsed due to the weather. There are casualties. Strong wind gusts have destroyed several houses. Schools are closed and southern states have been left without electricity. Many roads and squares in the city are flooded. On the streets, chaotically floating whole columns of transport. Rescuers had to evacuate several dozen people from flooded areas. Chennai Airport temporarily suspended the reception and dispatch of airplanes for several hours. Suburban train services have also been temporarily halted. Heavy rains led to accidents that killed at least 8 people in the city of Chennai. This is reported by local media with reference to official data. Moscow, Russia. On Sunday, Moscow and the Moscow region experienced an unprecedented snowfall, which has not been seen in 145 years of observations. Because of this, the third level of weather danger was declared. The roads are icy and skidded, which led to many accidents. More than 70 flights at airports were cancelled. More than 135,000 people and 18,000 units of special equipment were involved to combat powerful precipitation. Drivers are asked to observe the speed limit and better to abandon personal transportation. Meteorologists report that in the coming days the temperature will still drop, and by the weekend is expected -25 degrees Celsius. This is due to the arrival of a rare tropical atmospheric vortex Oliver from Europe. The height of snowdrifts until Wednesday may reach 28 centimeters, which is 4 times more than usual. Utilities are working around the clock to clear the snow and ensure the safety of citizens. Merapi Volcano, Indonesia. In the last review we told you that the Merapi volcano seemed to explode. Today it continues to erupt and the lava descends lower and lower to populated areas, and the ash ejection reaches more than 15,000 meters. Authorities fear that air travel will be suspended in the coming hours. At least 11 people are reported dead so far. It turned out that it was a group of 75 climbers who were on the volcano at the time of the eruption. Some managed to evacuate, 12 people are reported missing. A rescue operation is ongoing at the site. Merapi is considered one of the most active volcanoes in Indonesia. Locals even nicknamed it the Doomsday volcano. The last time Merapi erupted in 2010, then 353 people died. Experts believe that because of the eruption, the world economy may be seriously affected. Santa Catarina, Brazil. Heavy floods caused by heavy rains hit the Brazilian municipality of Imbuia in the state of Santa Catarina. As a result of the disaster, people were affected and significant material losses were incurred. Yakutia. In Yakutsk, the thermometer columns dropped to -50 degrees Celsius. The city was plunged into thick fog, visibility was less than 500 meters. Because of this, about 10 flights were delayed and schoolchildren were sent for distance learning. In the village of Oymyakon, the lowest temperature was recorded -57 degrees. However, the worst thing is the winds that have started to appear in recent years. Regardless of the temperature, the winds make it even colder. Tanzania. Heavy rain has triggered a landslide in East African Tanzania, killing at least 68 people and injuring 116. A team of 350 rescuers from the army was sent to the scene to search for survivors. The landslide destroyed houses and a road. Hundreds of people were displaced from their homes.
Hapo sasa kuna nani hapo? Kuna limtaro.
Mtaro ishazibwaga siku nyingi.
United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has been hit by a blizzard and snowfall. The air temperature dropped sharply, and the snow that had already fallen turned into ice. On the roads formed multi-kilometer traffic jams. Emergency services announced a yellow level of weather danger. Drivers are asked to observe the speed limit and generally advised not to use personal transport. Snowfall is still continuing in the region. In some areas, the height of snowdrifts reaches more than 30 centimeters. Due to the weather, about 1,500 houses were left without power supply. Schools and universities are temporarily closed. It is also reported about delays in the schedule of flights of railway transport. Meteorologists do not yet say how long the snow cyclone will stay in the country. Residents are advised to dress warmly and closely follow the messages of emergency services. Germany. In the last review, we already told you that in Germany came a real harsh winter, which has not been seen for a long time. Because of the elements on the roads are still paralyzed traffic. Emergency services do not have time to clear the snow. Trains in Munich are stopped, airplanes can neither take off nor land. Heavy snowfall covered the south of Bavaria and part of Baden-Württemberg. Many train passengers had to spend the night right in the cars, as the trains did not pass on the railroad tracks. Authorities decided to close Munich's central station as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of passengers and prevent possible accidents. Residents and tourists are asked not to leave their homes if possible, limit the time spent in the cold and refuse long-distance travel. Locals are in a panic. Such amount of snow has almost never fallen in Germany. Bad weather is expected to last in the region until at least midweek. Meteorologists say that the snowfall will only intensify and the air temperature will drop. This winter has been a real test for the residents of Germany. Our planet. A large ozone hole has been discovered in the tropical region of the planet, which turned out to be 7 times larger than the hole over Antarctica. This hole has existed since the 1980s, and the cause of its destruction is chlorofluorocarbon, a group of organic compounds that include fluorine, chlorine and carbon atoms from industrial activity. Harmful ultraviolet radiation reaches the Earth's surface and penetrates through the ozone hole, which can trigger the development of acute and chronic diseases and the immune system, as well as cause degenerative changes in skin cells, fibrous tissue, and blood vessels. Ozone is one of the most important small constituents of our atmosphere. Its ability to absorb ultraviolet radiation from the sun, which is harmful to living organisms, makes it an effective greenhouse gas that has a marked effect on Earth's changing climate. The preservation of ozone provides the ecological and biological conditions under which the Earth's fauna and flora have existed for many millions of years. Ozone is a colorless gas common in all layers of the atmosphere. Ultraviolet radiation in small doses is beneficial to the human body because it is directly related to the production of vitamin D. In January 1989, the Montreal Protocol, the world's first international agreement to regulate chemical pollutants, came into force. The ozone layer, scientists believe, recovers about 40 years after the formation of the ozone hole. It is very important to realize that progress in this case is not irreversible. If harmful chemicals are used again, holes in the ozone layer will begin to grow again. It is important to preserve the ozone layer to maintain the ecological and biological balance on Earth.